Welcome to our third TeamGuru video tutorial in our reports series. And in today's video tutorial, I would like to go over the widgets for projects. They are linked to our action list module and other, which skill statistic is linked to skill metrics module. RCCA is linked to root cause and actions module, and document list will allow you to see a list of documents in your reports, and at the moment it is list of documents from action list module, quality alerts, AD reports, and safety alerts module. And let's start with our projects. Under projects you have two options. You can either display actions in your reports, and these will be actions not only from our action list module, but also all the actions that are used within other modules. For example, root cause actions, standardized meetings module, quality alerts, and so on. And the second option is project overview, and it is basically a screenshot of your project header. And so let's first go over our actions. And here we will set up the basic settings such as a size, zoom if you would like to zoom, if you would like to show block title, what size, color, and icon. Then you also have an option to show table header. If you uncheck it, you will see that it disappears. You can also check the box for show action details. Next, you select columns of your action that you would like to be displayed in your report. Let's say that I will choose owner, status, start, last, comment. And you also have an option to add as many columns as you need to. Let's say that I would like a column that it's called notes, and these columns will be manually modified. So when I click OK, you will see it right here. And let's continue with our settings. Under actions, you will see that you have two options to choose from. You can either choose import actions from a document that is already existing in the system, or you can actually create your own action in your reports that it will be created manually, and it would not be related to any documents in the system. So let's start with the first one, import actions from a document. And in this case, you have to also make a choice if you would like to see only individual actions from that document, or if you would like to see all actions from a document. Let's start with the individual actions. So when I click on the green plus button, here I will select my document. I will choose this one. And now you see that you will have options to check every individual action that you would like to be shown in your document. So let's say I will just pick few, and then you click add selected actions. Here we see our actions that we just selected. And now you are able to manually modify your actions in your report, and then you can be using this button right next to each action. The first one is for refresh action. The second is edit task, remove action, and change order. The first one is refresh action. Whenever you make any changes to your actions in your report, those changes are not going to affect your already existing document. But the other way around, if you make any changes to your existing document, these changes are not going to be automatically displayed in your report unless and until you choose refresh action. And you can decide if you would like to do it for just individual actions, or if you would like to do it for all the actions at once. You just need to go to your settings and choose this button for refresh all actions. Next button is edit. So you can see that you can just write in to your actions and change anything manually. You can also delete your action, and you can also change order. Let's say that I would like to see this action somewhere else, so I can just drag it and drop it. And you are also able to add actions right here manually. When you click on the green plus button, it will take you to your settings. You will choose type manually. And here you will see that you can just enter your info manually. So it is pretty much text, but it's in the same format as your other actions. And then you have to hit save button. And two more things that I would like to point out before we move on to our project overview. We already talked about the refreshing data for your actions in your report. Very important when you move to the next month. This data will be actually refreshed automatically, so you won't need to refresh each action or all of them. It will be done automatically. And now it comes even to our report settings. When we talk about our automation tab, you will see that there are two other options: automatically refresh widget data for new period, and you also have an option to automatically freeze widget data for last period. So you can use that for your other widgets also, and the project widgets. And now let's go over our project overview. Project overview, as I mentioned before, it lets you to display a header of your project in your reports, and then you will be able to see statuses right away. So when you click on your project overview, you will first see all the basic settings that we went over that already, and then here you will see the action list, and then you select your document from the system. So I will find my document, and now we have more options to work with. And let's first zoom so we can resize our project overview so we can see all of our information nicely. And now when I go back to my settings, you will see that you have options to choose what view you would like to display your project overview in. So this is a full view. You can also use option for compact view. So here you will see only the items and all its statuses with the one glance. And you can also choose single line. Sometimes you have several projects and you would like to just see the title, responsible person, and status, so it helps you to see it nicely all at once. I'm going to choose the full view, and here you also see that you can check or uncheck all the items that you would like to see in your project overview. And the last feature under the settings, refresh data from action list. This is the same case as for projects. We already talked about it. You are basically working with a screenshot of your project overview. So this is not a live data, which means that if there are any modification made in your action list, these changes are not going to be reflected in your project overview unless you refresh data from action list. So when you hit refresh data, you will get the most updated information. And one more thing that I would like to point out before we move on to skill statistics, you will see that you have a live links in your project overview, and these links are linked directly to this document. So whenever you click on it, it will take you right there. And the next is under the widget skill statistics. And skill statistics are linked to your skill matrix module, and basically you will be able to display simple graph with status information for specific or unit, even the subfolders in your report. So when you click on skill statistics, you will see all that basic settings again. And you have set up default title training coverage, but of course you can change it. And here you will choose the org unit that you would like to see your skill matrices data for. Let's say that I would like to see data for TGC and North America org unit, but I would also want to see all the data for its subfolders. So when I hit OK, I will check this box for including subfolders. And now you will see all data for all the subfolders for TGC and North America region. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. And look at this great feature. So let's say that you see the average status for each subfolder for all those skill matrices for that specific region. But now let's say that you would like to see status of each specific skill matrix for that subfolder. So when you click on it, you will be also able to see it in this view. And of course, when you need to go back, you just click here. And when you work with your skill statistics, you work with live data, which means that if there are any changes done to your skill matrix, they will be automatically changed in your report also. And let's finish our video tutorial with the last option for widget, and that's documents list. And at the moment, your documents list widget is linked to our action list module, quality alerts, AD reports, and safety alerts. So when we click on it, first you will see all the basic settings again. And then you select module from drop-down menu between these four options and your org unit from org structure, and you can also decide if you would like to include subfolders by checking this box. And now your documents list widget will let you to display the list of all the documents for that specific module and that specific org unit. So you will be able to see this view in your report also. And you continue with your settings. You have options to choose what columns you would like to see in your report. Right now you see only title in your report, but from drop down menu you can just choose between all these options. Let's say that I would like to see raised by, location, and problem reject type. Then you have an option to choose how many documents per page you would like to be displayed and order by. And next you also have an option to choose and work with your filters. It is the same filter that you are using when you work with your documents in your module. So when you want to make your selection, you just have to either click or unclick, and once you are done you just hit this button, and here you see your report. And this document list widget works with live data, so your report is going to be updated automatically whenever there are any changes done to your documents in the modules. But you also have an option to change that. When you go to your settings, you can choose right here from drop down menu if you would like to work with live data, freeze data, or freeze previous periods. And one more thing I would like to point out before we finish today, you will see that you have a live links in this report also. So when you click on it, it will take you directly to that document. And we have one more last widget to go over, and that is RCCA. RCCA widget gives you an option to display Paretos from your RCCA document under root cause and action module in your reports. And to do so, you just have to click RCCA widget. You will select the size, title, and you will search and select document under your RCCA document from the menu. So I'm going to find my document. And here you will see all your options you can choose from. These options, they depend on your RCCA document. So let's say this document has only 2 Paretos. In that case, you will have an option to show Pareto 1 and 2. But let's say that your document is going to have 5 Paretos, so then you will have all these options here also. And each RCCA widget has an option to show document header. And let's put it on the side and see what it does. So when I click and check the box for show document header, it will show your document header. And then if I click show Pareto 1, it will show my Pareto 1. And I also have an option to show Pareto 2. And now let's put it on the side and make it larger so we will see how nicely it is displayed. And here it is. And one more thing to mention, here you have a live link to your RCCA document, and also all this data is a live data, which means that whenever your RCCA document is changed, modified, this change will be displayed in your report automatically also. And this should be all for today's video tutorial. If you have any questions or need any assistance, please don't hesitate to contact us at support@teamguru.com. We would be very happy to hear from you.